Hey, it's FP at Rod Forge. Wanted to spend a little time today in the freezer with our carbon fiber. As rod builders, you guys are the first ones to feel a blank, and I want to give you a few tools to maybe help you begin to understand why a blank feels like it feels. So I'm going to start today to talk to you about polyacrylonitrile. PAN is the fiber that's in the pre-preg that we make fishing rod blanks from, and it's what causes, I think, rod builders like you the most trouble in understanding why does a given blank feel the way it feels. And I think by pointing out a few things, I can clean up some mysteries about what makes pre-preg and how that turns into blanks as it relates to the very fibers. So when we talk about the fibers that are in the pre-preg, the fabric that a fishing rod blank is made from, the first thing you want to understand is that fiber is described in two ways. Typically we talk about tensile modulus. Secondly, we talk about tensile strength. Tensile modulus is the number that you hear all the time. It's when people talk about 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, what they're talking about is the millions of pounds per square inch of tensile modulus. And what tensile modulus is, it describes how long that fiber will stretch like a rubber band before it breaks. Rubber bands have very high tensile modulus, i.e. they're very stretchy. They stretch and recover, but they have very low tensile strength. Once they're fully stretched, they break. A steel wire, on the other hand, it won't stretch. But once you begin to get it to move where it won't recover, it can stretch for a long time before it breaks. You can measure tensile modulus in millions of pounds per square inch, or what are called gigapascals. And gigapascals are they're a metric unit for the imperial unit that we mostly hear when you hear millions modulus. So another term that comes up occasionally, people will talk about, well, where does this idea of tons come from? And tons is really a marketing term that kind of bastardizes tons of force. Tons of force can be measured in gigapascals if the gigapascals are measured over a particular area. Well, gigapascals equals 6.89 gigapascals per millions of pounds per square inch. If you forget about units of area, a gigapascal equals 0.7 tons of force. So if we can measure something in millions of pounds per square inch or gigapascals, we can bastardize it for marketing terms. And so sometimes people will say tons when they describe modulus, but it's not a very accurate way to do it. So when we talk about fibers, in fishing rods, fibers run from about 30 million pounds per square inch tensile modulus to about 60 million pounds per square inch tensile modulus. Roughly speaking, standard modulus fibers are about in the 30s. Intermediate modulus fibers are in the 40s, roughly. High modulus is typically in the 50s, and then ultra high modulus is in the 60s. Most fishing rod blanks are built out of fibers that are in the 30s and 40s, although you're beginning to see some 50s. Now, the last thing that people ask us about all the time is, hey, what's up with these IM numbers? IM this, IM that. IM numbers are specific to Hexcel Corporation's Hexcel tow fibers. IM 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 all relate to specific intermediate modulus fibers, but they don't go sequentially. IM6 is actually a little higher tensile modulus than IM7, and IM9 is actually a little lower than IM8. They also have various tensile strengths, so each of them is a little different fiber. Let me tell you about something that we're going to talk about the next time we're together. Pre-preg. These fibers get combined with epoxy resin and turned into the pre-preg that's the real fabric that we make blanks out of. That's a whole different story because it changes it all up. But ultimately, if you kind of understand how the pizza's made, I think you'll have a better idea of which ones to choose for the blanks that'll work for you.